A special meeting of the commission being conducted in the Shelton City Hall via Zoom and through a phone link is hereby called to order. We appreciate your patience and our late start. It was just some technical difficulties. And for the record, this meeting is also being carried live on YouTube. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I invite those participating remotely to do the same. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll start off with a roll call of the commission. Please verbally indicate you are present when your name is called. Commissioner Kelly?
Present.
Commissioner Parkins?
Present.
Commissioner Motto?
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Cristiano?
Present.
Alternate Commissioner McGee?
Present.
Myself, Commissioner Harger. Ms. Castro, our Assistant Administrator. Is Mr. Panico with us yet?
No.
Just give me the heads up when he is. Ms. Vernazos, our Recording Secretary.
Present.
Ms. Charbonneau, our stenographer. Was Stephanie?
Tony Panico is on.
Okay. Mr. Panico, you're with us?
Yes, I am. Finally, I had to get my other computer.
Okay, thank you very much for your efforts. For the record, Commissioner Ticky is unavailable this evening. Alternate Commissioner McGee, you are being seated in his place. Please acknowledge that you understand. And due to a resignation of a commissioner from the commission, Commissioner Peter Lascos submitted his resignation last week. So alternate Commissioner Cristiano, you're being seated for in that vacant spot. And please acknowledge that.
Oops.
Yep, and the Republican members of the commission will be meeting to choose a replacement for the open seat.
Having trouble with my video.
Okay, keep at it. A couple of points continuing with today's agenda. Ms. Castro will act as the Zoom meeting host, while commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting. The chair asks that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized by the chair before speaking to make sure we're not speaking over each other, and to especially make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. Has Ms. Charbonneau joined us? No. Okay. And for the record, the meeting started at 6:09 p.m. Well, we have a public hearing.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
they're recorded via Zoom. Why do
We
we
never
need,
discussed that. So,
why do we need a stenographer?
yeah, we could look into that. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I hate to.
No, but it's,
I don't see why we need it. It's kind of redundant.
All right, so let's continue. The first item on the agenda tonight is the continuation of a public hearing, and I'd like to share the public hearing protocol. Ms. Castro will indicate if any written comments were received from members of the public no later than 24 hours before the start of this evening's meeting. If written comments were received, they will be read into the record. The applicant and its associates will make the presentation. The commission can ask questions during the presentation or at its conclusion. The applicant and or associates can answer commission questions at the time they are presented or at the conclusion of the presentation. At the point in each public hearing when the chair asks for public comment, those members of the public participating remotely via Zoom will be asked to use Zoom's raise your hand feature, and those members of the public participating via phone will be recognized after dialing *9. Those members of the public that are here in the auditorium will be heard first. And no matter if you're here in the auditorium or if you are participating remotely, we will begin with any elected officials of the city and then residents. After you are recognized, please state and spell your name and state your address to assist the recording secretary and stenographer when doing the minutes and transcript of the hearing. Each speaker has 5 minutes to present comments, which should address specific criteria of the zoning regulations, the merits of the application, and be new information, not a repeat of comments previously presented either this evening or at a previous meeting. If the public hearing is a continuation, public comments are restricted to just the new material submitted by the applicant after the continuation of the previous public hearing. Comments and questions should be directed to the chair, not to the applicant and or his associates. And also that comments are directed to the whole commission as a whole. Members of the public are expected to practice appropriate etiquette by being quiet, observant, and respectful. Disruptive attendees may be removed from verbally participating. The applicant's attorney and or associates will be given the opportunity to address any comments or questions from the public after the last person from the public has been given the opportunity to speak. If the commission feels further information is needed from the applicant, the chair will ask for a motion to continue the public hearing. If a public hearing remains open, the commission is not allowed to make any public comment, discuss any part of the applicant's and or his associates' presentation, or receive any additional information from anyone. If the commission feels the applicant and or his associates have addressed all questions and have answered all concerns from the commission and or public, the chair will ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Staff will then schedule a discussion about the application at an upcoming commission meeting, during which time the commission will be asked by the chair on how it wants to proceed. So this is the continuation of the public hearing for application 2326, 10 Long Hill Avenue, LLC at 10 Long Hill Avenue, Assessor's Map 117B, Lot 49 in a CB-2 zone, petitioning for a planned development district zone with a 3-story residential building consisting of 19 apartments and on-site parking. This application was accepted for review on November 8th, 2023. And we opened the public hearing on February 28th and continued it to March 20th. Documents posted for review on the city's website include an application for a PDD zone change, statement of uses and standards, initial and revised development plans, the latest dated March 30th, 2024, showing 17 one-bedroom apartments, a letter containing the signatures of about 20 residents opposing the application, an email from a resident rescinding his signature, letters from 8 residents, signed posting photos, and certificates of mailing. On March 20th, the applicant reviewed revised, at our March 20th meeting, the applicant reviewed revised plans that had been submitted. So, Ms. Castro, was any correspondence received within the time period for this proposal, but not yet posted to the city's website that need to be acknowledged for the record?
Not in the time period, but a gentleman dropped off a letter today who was unable to stay for the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Opalak, 45 Long Hill Avenue.
Okay, I believe he might have made public comment at some
Previously.
point. That name
It's
is
a
so
familiar
familiar. Okay.
What is going on here?
So, who's representing the applicant? Mr. Rose? All right, would you identify yourself for the record, and could you please confirm that the applicant has reduced the number of apartments from a mix of 21 units to 17 one-bedroom?
Yes, Pat Rose, Rose Diesel and Company, 35 Brentwood Avenue, Fairfield, Connecticut, representing the applicant. We have presented new plans dated March 30th, 2024, which had 17 one-bedroom apartments and 33 parking spaces altogether.
Do you have something for us?
Yeah, I will do it.
Okay.
Just so you can. So you can all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What is, you have 2 on here. There's 3.14 and there's 3.30. Do you know which one that is?
The last one is 3/30/24.
Sure.
So was there any special reason for the reduction? Was
Well-
it the site itself?
The listening to the commission, some of the residents and
Mm-hmm,
trying to reduce the scale of the project,
mm-hmm,
to make it more acceptable to people.
mm-hmm.
We reduced the length of the building by about 28 feet.
Wow.
It's still 3 stories, but it's now about 115 feet long. It was 143 previously. So there are 17 one-bedroom apartments in the building. They range from 840 square feet to 1,011 square feet.
Mhm.
So they're good sized apartments. They're not tiny. What we've done is try and make the building smaller, more condensed, kept the parking that we had outside the building
Mhm.
previously. So we have
It's like
virtually
33. So
33 of the 17s, virtually 2 to 1. It's 1.9.
Mhm.
It's very close. We believe that we'll be able to take care of our parking on our own site. People will be able to park there,
Mhm.
be using street parking. It would be one-bedroom apartments.
So the angle of the parking spaces changed a little bit.
Yeah, the layout, the
1,500.
parking spaces changed slightly, so I could get all those parking spaces in there. I wanted 33 or 34. I got 33
Mhm.
based on the geometry of what we can provide.
So it sits closer to Center Street,
The building sits correct.
And
It's
Goodman
in the
Drive.
same location, but it's shortened
shortened, yeah,
towards Center Street. by
okay,
28 feet. That's correct.
okay. So the left wall is where it was pretty much,
Correct. It's in
Yeah,
the
it's the
same
right wall there.
location, the right wall. Correct.
okay.
Now we have 18 parking spaces underneath the building.
Alexandra, did you want to put that up there?
It doesn't.
Can't.
Oh, it's still not working.
It's not-
It's-
Let me just mention, any members of the public, you are more than welcome to take your chairs and come up and look at these two monitors, because that's what we're seeing here is on the monitors. So don't hesitate to make yourself comfortable.
So on the parking level, there are 18 spaces under the building. Our lobby is in the center of the building still. We've rearranged it to some degree. Put the sprinkler and electric room against the stairway in the back. And then, kept the handicap spaces where they were previously, so.
So on A-100,
100.
it says in the middle, parking 33 cars, but that's
That's for the
overall.
whole thing.
overall. 18
18
underneath,
under. 15.
okay.
Go to the first floor plan, A101. We're showing that we have 5 apartments on the first floor. You can't see it.
Alexandra,
Can't see them?
no, it's just,
you will.
it was overlaid, she overlaid something.
It's short, but it's-
Oh, all right.
There you go.
So let me just interrupt again. Ms. Charbonneau, our stenographer is on. Ms. Charbonneau, could you just acknowledge that you are here as of 8:20?
Yes, present. Thank you.
All right, so let me make a notation of that. 6:20. Okay,
So on the first floor, there are 4 apartments which face Long Hill Avenue. One in the rear on the left-hand side, and then there's a small office and a fitness center, which is a portion of the building that's buried on the first floor with the fitness center and the office.
all right, and the access to that first floor is through the elevator.
Elevator.
So you
Or
come
stair.
out the elevator, go left, you take a right, go left or right.
Yep.
To 2 of the 1 bedrooms there and 2 of the 1 bedrooms there. Or pretty much straight across to that other one on the rear. You have an office that's supposed to be like a management office, and you have a fitness center, okay? You have interior stairs,
Yeah, on the outside of the building, there are stairways.
Stairwell.
interior, those aren't in the outside, yeah, those are inside.
They're
Okay.
within the building.
They're within the building, on the outside of the building.
Mhm.
Any commissioners have any questions
No.
so far? Okay, Mr. Pianico, if you have any questions as we go along, please speak up.
Yeah, I'm still having difficulties here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
The rear bedroom unit is pretty large.
on the first floor,
Yeah, all of the
1,000,
ones in the rear, they're 1,011 square feet.
even
More, it's more of a product of the narrowness of that space, that
Mhm.
it needs to be longer in order to have the bedroom, bathrooms, living room, and kitchen. So it's a benefit to some degree that you have more square footage, but it's a narrow apartment.
Yeah, So what's the size of that bedroom space about?
15 feet.
All right, and then the elevator backs into the one that's in the front,
Correct.
nine
The elevator
twenty-four.
takes a piece out of that.
Yep, so the units in the front have two bay windows.
Yeah, there's two
Yeah.
bay window and those two units in the front
Mhm.
that frame the elevator. And then there's a pop-out window on either side. You'll see the elevation.
Okay,
So on the second floor, it's the same 4 units across the front of the elevator and 2 one-bedroom units in the back. Mirror image.
Mhm. Yeah, so combine the office and the fitness center for that. All right, second floor.
And the third floor, A103, is the same layout as the second floor, 4 across the front and the 2 rear units.
Okay,
We go to A201, which is the front elevation on Long Hill Avenue. You'll see that we have the bottom of the building where parking is brick up to a screen wall, which is above the brick.
mm-hmm,
So that brick wall is high enough that you're not gonna see headlight that pulls in, you're not gonna have the headlight
Hmm.
coming through, but
Mhm.
you'll have screen above that. To let in light and air into the garage.
so it's a decorative
The decorative grill.
grill. Why is this building look like it's going downhill?
But it's because Long Hill Avenue goes uphill.
Right,
Okay, so it is level.
it's
It
level.
is level.
We're not gonna have
It is level.
okay,
So, in the residential, we've changed the elevation to some degree and added these bay windows on either side and then these pop-out windows on the ends of the building.
all right, so what you're proposing has some dimension.
Yeah,
to
it
it.
has some ins and out.
Yep.
Brick entrance, and then
Mhm.
brick above that.
Mhm.
And then we have siding on either side and shingles on the top level,
Mm-hmm,
break up the height of the building. Over on the right side elevation, we created a pop-out window with the gable, so it gives some
Hmm.
more depth on that side and more interest as opposed to the flat facade before.
mm-hmm,
Same way we're treating the brick and the grillage for the parking area.
mm-hmm. So the staircase is behind the screen and goes from an interior.
That
That's a
staircase,
drive,
yeah, where you
so-
see that concrete wall, that's essentially what the staircase is.
But that's open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So coming down from the first floor, they'd open a door and then they would be going down the stairs in an open garage.
But no,
area?
that's an enclosed
It is.
stairway all the
Oh,
way down
okay.
to the garage level. It's a door opening. in the
Garage, okay. All right,
A202, the rear elevation. Where you can see the profile of grade below where the siding and the concrete are, that's the profile of the grade as it goes from highest to the lowest point, which is closest to Center Street.
mm-hmm,
The living units are on the top 2 floors in the back
Mhm.
and below on the first floor on the one side, on the right side.
yeah, this left side elevation is what faces Goodwin
Left side.
Terrace.
Is what faces south, away from Center Street.
Right, Long Hill.
Up, going
That's
up,
how we
Long
all
Hill.
know.
Up one,
Correct.
all right, so the
Correct.
other one is the one facing Goodman.
Right.
So it's the same elevation, on the left side as it is on the right side, except it's a little lower because the building's going uphill and we've got a lower headroom there than we do as we come into the building,
So what
to
you're,
the garage.
what you're proposing is a mirror image of the right side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Okay,
The roof hasn't changed, it's the way we have it, it's a mansard roof, doesn't belong the entire perimeter, any condensing units would be up on that roof, be screened by
mm-hmm,
the mansard.
What, the right side elevation is facing as you come down from Long Hill Avenue, that's what you see,
The right side elevation is from Center Street, looking from Center Street.
looking from Center
Up.
Street up.
Yeah.
So that's all concrete there?
Correct.
How are you gonna treat that so it doesn't look like a concrete wall?
It's gonna end up being a stucco, the stucco finish on the concrete.
Something decorative, you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, that's what you show.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's what
it's-
shown.
I don't think any of us would want it to look like the foundation of a house that comes
I
up
think
like.
a mural would be nice.
Of what?
Yeah, it's gonna be-
It's our design.
Unfortunately, you're not gonna see a lot of it just to some degree because you've got dumpsters on that side.
We have the building right there
Yeah.
too. So
I would use graffiti resistant stucco if you
Yeah.
can. There is such a thing, I understand.
The
Interesting.
graffiti resistant paints that you can put on there, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You may want to.
Wow.
yeah.
Oh goodness, it took them that long to
Yeah,
park?
so
No,
part of
the
the,
Walmart.
Okay, so that's the changes to the building that we've made. We've tried to respond to comments that have come back. And make the building a little less large,
Mhm.
fewer units.
Okay,
So the residents that are currently living on Long Hill Avenue will still be able to park in front of this building, correct?
Correct.
There's-
except for the-
Right.
But they don't park. on the street.
yeah,
Oh, there's
They
no
can't
parking
park
on
in
that?
that is, has only parking.
side.
Oh,
mhm, mhm. Well, are we gonna echo that?
No, I think that's.
Okay.
Echo.
Okay, so any questions from any of the commissioners for Mr. Rose?
What's the width? Width of the building?
65 feet.
65 by 115.
15.
The
Okay,
height's the same as it was.
Correct, it's 52 feet
Yeah.
high. Yeah.
Any affordable units?
Two affordables.
And
we're gaining 0.4.
What's that?
We're gaining 0.4.
Okay.
we're up
No,
on it.
0.3, I'm sorry. 7 and 3 makes 10.
And this space here that's it's just open. What are you gonna do? I'm sure you were trying every way you could to
So,
do something with it.
It's
It-
below the 30 units, so it's the
That would
applicant
be-
going to make any applications for charging units or no, yes? or-
Hasn't been completely decided yet.
Okay,
All right,
so,
Do they have to with that many units?
no,
No,
Oh.
no.
no, but still, I mean,
may-
you're going to have somebody in there with
It's gonna
an
happen.
electric car, right?
We'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
The rest of the triangle is fairly severely sloped area that's
This
gets,
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
narrower, narrower. It's tough.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because the street above.
reading it-
you know,
reading it the way it does, there are areas over there that have eroded to some degree, but I think it's gonna be taken care of with our parking lots. So it's gonna have to be corrected because it has eroded.
Yeah, it is.
So there'd be some landscaping there?
Yeah. There'll have to be some work to stabilize that. Stabilize that
Hmm.
hill.
Yeah, yeah, there's a place in town I drove by and the homeowner is on a hill and he decided to cut in to make a bigger area to park. And I said to myself,
Oh.
now that's an accident waiting to happen if it starts raining, because you're gonna have
Hmm.
fir trees
Mhm.
going boom, boom. So anyhow. All right, Mr. Panico, do you have any questions? Are you with us?
I'm watching, but are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I'm still kind of mixed up between my laptop and my desktop.
Okay,
It's
we got an
echoing.
echo, so one of your,
Turn off the volume.
I
One of
think
them.
I think I can't get into the main link until the transfer comes back to you.
all right, but it sounds as if both of your computer speakers are on. You need to shut one off.
You're echoing.
You're echoing, yeah. Alexander, did you?
That
do
any
something?
better?
Yes, yes. Everybody said that in chorus.
I was gonna take them off, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, so, Mr. Panico, did you have some questions about the revised layout? Oh, what happened to him?
No,
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can
He's
see
not,
it.
yeah, he's not on mute, is he? No.
I don't think he hears you.
Tony, can you hear us? Shake your head.
Nope. Hold on.
All right, he turned off the wrong.
Yeah, let me call him. Oh, dear.
Modern age of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, love and hate.
Hit the phone, Tony. Technology. Jump up in this.
No, he's not gonna.
Oh, he's not
He
answering.
normally seems to have it all figured out.
You can't do anything on it, can you?
No, but I can write.
Yeah, but you may not see
Recording
it.
in progress.
Okay.
Oh, he's there. Okay, so, Mr. Panico, do you have any comments about this revised application?
No. I'm sorry about the echo. I'm gonna shut off my desktop.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I'm still having trouble shutting my desktop now. Okay.
All right, just go. Go ahead.
Is
Don't worry
that
about it.
any better? No.
It's better, but but that's not disruptive. So what did you want to share with us about this revised layout?
The revised layout is fine. Hold on one second. I'm gonna try going in the other room with my laptop.
Probably louder on his.
Is that any better?
Here's busy talks.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so he's signed in 2 times.
No,
No, now you have no mic over there. Your laptop is not connected as a panelist.
go back to where you were. Go back.
Close my laptop. Let me see if I still have the other one on or not.
If he signed in mouse, can he?
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
shut my laptop.
Yeah,
All
I was
right.
gonna say that.
You're doing good. Stay there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, you started to say something about the revised plans.
Yes. My biggest concern is, I've started looking through it and I have some concern about the size of the parcel versus the size of the requirement or what's in the works. And I didn't have a chance to have a conversation with Alex to see where we really stand on it. So, it would be my suggestion that perhaps keep the hearing open just in case we have some issues, but the main reason that I have a problem, I couldn't find any kind of a plot plan. I mean, a property map. And
Mr. Rose is here. Maybe you could address that. Is there anything else before he does?
We submitted a property map originally. I haven't submitted a new one, applies. Application hasn't changed.
Property boundaries haven't changed though.
No.
So do you see that in the list? In
no, I realize that, and there was Alex and I were having a discussion over the by emails, etc. But we weren't able to really clarify anything. So perhaps the wise thing to do is to go ahead and listen to the rest of the presentation, and then let's make sure that we have all the information that we need.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I can't be more definitive than that.
Okay, Ms. Castro is looking up on the list of what documents were submitted.
Initial.
Yeah.
Yes, I have all that information, but none of it is a property map.
All right, they're looking.
Is it part of the package or was it separate?
No, it was part of the package originally.
Yeah. Oh.
It was.
In any event, would that be difficult?
100.
They're looking at the original S100. Yeah,
You know,
plan, it gives the dimensions of the property.
No, that's my site plan.
Oh,
that you-
oh, all right.
There's an NOT map.
This one?
Oh, that's drainage information.
That's right. There's a
What is the area of the site?
0.64
Uh,
Acres.
acres.
Alex and I started having a discussion about the eligibility side of it. And it may be that there's something that I'm not totally aware of, and that's why I didn't want to make a big presentation on it.
Mhm.
In terms of what would make the site eligible in a site of this size.
Mhm.
So, and I really apologize that I didn't notice any of that earlier.
Yeah,
But
Mr. Rossetti is not with us this week, so.
no, I realize it. That's why I was trying to communicate with you and with him, and I'm just not having very good luck here tonight.
Yeah, okay,
My apologies, really.
no apology required. So, but before we continue on, there isn't anything else in the revised plans that jumps out at you that would be of
No, I
concern?
think that the revised plans are a step in the right direction. My difficulty is that it's, regardless of what we put on the site, it's a very compact development.
Mhm. Mhm. How about the exterior treatment? With the way that they've explained on the elevations as to what they were, where the brick was versus the vinyl siding and all that. Those are sheets A201 and 202.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. These are the exact same drawings that Pat sent me, so I should be able, I had looked at the full size ones. I think it's a reasonable approach. I had some questions about this treatment of the screen opening to the garage, but
Mhm.
perhaps that's kind of detail could really be resolved if and when we go to detailed development plans.
Okay, all right.
And the other question is, it's crowding the back of the sidewalk, and that's something that the commission is going to have to wrestle with, because obviously, if you're doing a PDD, you establish the standards that you think are appropriate.
Mhm. And Mr. Rose, what's the depth of the sidewalk right now?
One clarification, I know Pat mentioned that there would be a sidewalk across the front. Obviously, that sidewalk doesn't look like it can go the full length of the property. Is the commission knowledgeable about where the sidewalk will begin and end?
Mhm. If you, correct me if I'm wrong, but on S100, that's what we're showing there, where it says edge of pavement. Pavement,
Edge of pavement, there's a sidewalk that would end at, the development of the property essentially.
where the driveway entrances are. Yeah, so the sidewalk goes from,
So it's really it's gonna go from the entrance to the exit.
yes,
Correct.
yeah,
Is there a sidewalk on the other side of the street?
across the street.
Yeah,
Across
Oh,
the
yeah.
street,
yeah.
Yeah, that goes up.
Well, I don't know if you can put a sidewalk continuing,
And where
because
would-
it narrows right
Oh, it
down.
narrows down
Oh,
and
yeah.
it gets
And
steep
where
right
would you-
against it. You'd have,
Where would
Yeah.
you go?
Wall.
Where would you have a sidewalk to no place?
it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, it does, in front of the Goodman parking lot.
Well, the other direction, yeah,
Yeah.
correct, but
Right.
going up doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all, but could crosswalk striping be installed for some reason?
Across Long Hill? Why would,
Only because.
I
of
could see in the driveways, crosswalk
Yeah,
stripes across the
Mhm.
driveways, but not across the road.
The proposal is to put a sidewalk on the site or along the street.
Along the street. We're not putting a sidewalk on the site because
Because
we've
you
got
have a ramp.
stairs and a
upstairs.
ramp that will connect into that sidewalk.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're talking about a sidewalk that's on where the back of the walk is the property line, the street line.
So it's.
Not correct?
City-owned sidewalk, because you're.
Yeah, that's what most sidewalks are, city.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there will be roughly a 3-foot space between the back of the walk and the face of the foundation.
Commissioner McGee had a question?
No, we were just talking about crosswalks. I'm thinking it'd be more, better if we had a crosswalk across, is that Center Street?
Mhm.
Center Street, ain't going, because that's where the bus stop is across that street too.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want a crosswalk there because you have three streets coming in,
Mm,
and then you got Perry Hill coming down.
That way
That-
up-
I mean,
this
The
is-
city would have to put that crosswalk.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
just
we
the
wouldn't,
crosswalk
they
on
wouldn't
their-
do that.
yeah,
on their-
but I think as part of the plans, we're putting 30 units and we want to encourage people to
Well,
not always use their cars.
17.
right?
17
Sorry,
units.
17, 30, 33 spaces, 17
Mhm.
units. We want people to not always use their cars. I would think, a crosswalk across Center would be more, more useful, I think.
Well, if they were down at the end of Long Hill Avenue, on the right is Goodman Insurance, around the corner is the gas station.
Mhm.
So if they took a left, they would be on that little corner property and there is no sidewalk after that. The
That's
sidewalk,
Center Street.
I
That
know,
you're-
but the
you're
sidewalk
talking
is
Center
across
Street.
the street where the big buildings are.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a sidewalk that goes along on the other
And-
Yes.
so with that, as,
Quite frankly, to try to get a walk across the undeveloped part of the site has difficulties because I believe that slope comes all the way out to the curb, doesn't it? Or
Yeah.
up to the street line.
That's correct.
yeah, that was mentioned and that would be a
Very
little tough, so.
So the sidewalk is really for people that may park, visitors that may park in that area on the end and then walk up to the front door
Mhm.
safely to,
True.
to access it.
Yes. And that will have a walk there.
Mhm. Okay. All right, before we move into the public portion, any further comments, questions, or concerns from the commission?
No, I just say it's improved.
Yeah.
Mm.
good.
Yes, definitely appreciate you,
One,
bringing the building smaller. I was hoping that some of the units wouldn't be so large. So unfortunately, I see this as a more affordable opportunity for folks that want to be on the bus line, et cetera. But typically rents go by square footage. So when you have 1,000 square foot, it's not going to be really an economical rent choice.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
although I imagine one of those units has to be affordable, right?
Probably.
Two.
Like
Yep.
one of those
One of
and
those
one of the
bigger ones,
fronts, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. All right, I guess
one
that's,
or two.
yeah, there'd be 2 units, but one of the bigger units and one of the smaller units would be ideal.
Mhm.
Well, not ideal, it'd be good.
Pat, could we go to the architectural floor plan?
What
Which one,
sheet?
Tony? What sheet?
Typical second or third floor.
A201, A102,
A101.
A102.
Second or third floor is A102. Third floor is A103.
Okay, but would you open it up on the screen there so I can just mention something? I'd just like you to explain a little bit.
Is that one up? Yeah, yes, Ms. Castro has it projected. Go ahead.
Okay, do you have 101 or 102?
They're the same, aren't they?
No, one oh one.
You said the upper, second or third floor.
Okay, second. The one that has the floor areas, that's it, okay. How come the floor area is so large? I mean, 1,011 square feet for a one-bedroom apartment is rather large.
The reason it is, Tony, is because the apartment's fairly narrow. So in order to put bedroom, bathroom, closets, living room and kitchen,
Yeah.
it ends up being long. So that's what, it's not a square, it's not a small rectangle, it's a very narrow rectangle. That's what makes it long, more square foot.
They're perpendicular to the 4 units along.
Okay, if the commission is comfortable with that, and we can talk about it some more, the statement of uses and standards should be clarified and revised. And it should be revised to reflect one-bedroom units, not studios or efficiencies.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's unfortunate you're losing the studios.
mhm. Let me just ask, there is, the elevator. That can't be turned. So doesn't jut into that. Because on the first floor, when people come in, the front doors,
Then we have an
What are they-
elevator up against the window.
Yeah.
I know, that's, I was looking for the entrance.
My concern is on the very large units that we don't leave a door open for someone to occupy it and then use it really like a studio with a separate bedroom.
Say that one again,
Yeah,
Mr.
how would
Panico?
that work?
You could do it with any of them.
You could put a curtain against the wall and divide that into 2 rooms. That's how big it is, right?
Yeah, you know, I just don't want that to happen. So if we clean up the statement of uses and standards to make these just one-bedroom units, then we have something to enforce. If an enforcement were necessary.
Okay,
Is there some sort of rule or housing regulation that you can't have more than so many people in a bedroom?
I'm not familiar with it. But just from a straight use point of view,
Because it's not us.
it's really just those large units. The smaller ones don't look like they would be much of a problem. But the units that get to be 1,100 and something, 1,000 something square feet.
If I were renting, I'd like that.
I would too.
Yeah.
And we need, there's a lot of cleaning up that the statement of uses and standards needs anyway, so.
Mhm.
It's just hopeful that people don't take advantage of it
Yeah.
and put in 6 people. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm. Anything else, Mr. Panico?
In this statement of uses and standards, under permitted uses, it also spells out food service facilities, retail businesses, sales and service. This is strictly a residential development now.
That was stricken.
Yeah, we've taken that. We spoke about that at the first hearing and said we would remove that from statement. Yeah.
Yeah, C, D were removed.
They were
And
removed, okay.
yeah, that might have been a meeting that you were unavailable for in February. So,
Maybe I printed mine out before the changes were made.
yes.
Is there an updated version online?
No,
I
No.
thought I printed this today.
yeah, but no, it has not been changed.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Yeah. But C and D were taken out, and in F, my notes said the accessory uses are exercise room and workspace.
Yes.
All right, and the workspace is gone. It's an office now, okay. So. Okay,
As far as the, no, that's right. The new plan doesn't have dens anymore. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry, I wasn't that well prepared for this. I got hung up on a couple of things and it led me to question things.
not a problem. So, let's move into the public portion then, Mr. Panico.
Sure.
Have anything else? So, Pam, would you mind passing that? Thank you very much. So we will now move into the public portion. It's just a reminder that comments are limited to just the new material that had been submitted by the applicant since the continuation of the public hearing on March 12th, which is the revised layouts. I don't see any elected official here in the audience. So I'll ask if there's any elected official participating remotely. Please use Zoom's raise your hand feature, dial *9 to be identified. Ms. Castro, no elected officials remotely. Okay, so we'll move into the public that are here. The first one is Angel Avina. Come on up to right here. Have a seat and identify yourself for the record, your name and address, and go ahead.
Hi, I'm Angel Avina and I live at 41 Longer Avenue. And I would like to address the apartment that you guys are assembling. And I believe that it's just too crowded. And all the cars are gonna be just bunched up together because we have cars coming down from Longer Avenue. And we got cars that'll come in like 30 miles an hour coming down Bushwood Avenue. And with that sharp area, it's gonna cause way too much accidents, most likely. And including with Longer Avenue, the right side, there are houses. And those houses have cars to the right side. And with cars coming down Longer Avenue, and including with the apartments coming up, most likely those cars coming down Longer Avenue, the mirrors to the rear side of the car would most likely be broken. And including, there's a business there that are parking their cars. I think the business is called Trees Landscaping. And they park their cars with the construction will most likely be happening. And they have a garage. They don't park there, they park in that area. So if they would have, so that construction is happening, those trucks would park in our residential area. And again, would be just crowded up. And including with the weather condition, when it snows, where are we gonna put all that snow with the residents living down there? Because again, it's most likely it's gonna be one lane. Without so much snow, it's not gonna be enough space for all the cars to park there. I'm just a junior in Shelburne High School, so try to do
It's
something.
very good.
Yeah.
You did
Very
very
good.
well.
Have you
Proud
there.
of you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, next signed up is Aldo Gardella.
Oh.
Just identify yourself for the record.
133 Long Hill Avenue. Can we bring the building plan up?
The elevation,
The site?
yeah,
No, right over there.
I know that, but the picture of the building itself?
Yes, the front.
Okay,
Well,
yeah. Ms. Castro will take care of that.
I didn't see, is there a picture of the left side of the building?
Yep, yeah, Ms. Castro. Get that up there.
Picture of the left side.
So that should be shoot.
I got it. But specifically the left side is.
Right there.
Left side elevation is she, yeah,
Okay, now can you bring up the front?
201, 202.
I'm good with that. Can you bring up the front?
There you go.
As far as the driveway plans or the arrows with the
Looking down, you mean?
driveways,
Yeah.
I guess that was it.
Keep going. Keep going. Is there a bigger one?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Zoom in on that.
Well, I just know, you have the
Just
driveway.
large that.
202.
Driveway going in on the left, that's going in from basically Long Hill Avenue.
Yes,
But right next to that, there's a driveway there there's a business there, the glass company. And next to that, there's Goodman Agency on the side also. So there's gonna be a lot of congestion there. And as Angel was saying, 50 feet up on the left, just across that building, Pepper's Landscaping is in there now. And the trucks are all over the place, parking on the street. I don't know if he's eventually gonna leave the area. I don't know. The proposed building is better. It just seems with the bedrooms is still gonna be short for parking. And there's still an issue with the parking for Peppers, that gate. The conditions of approval when they went in there, the gate's still down.
Issue that's being looked into.
Oh, it is? Okay, because nobody got back to me yet for a month and a half, so.
We'll have to get on that again.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think, oh, and here's a congested area about the road sinking and everything else, but, where the construction workers gonna park when they doing this building,
Mhm.
so. That's all.
Okay, thanks,
Thank you.
Mr.
Good point.
Gardella. Okay, next signed up is John Usel.
Hi, John Usal. I live at 17 Audubon Lane.
Mhm.
I own 19 Long Hill Ave, which is pretty much across the street from this proposal.
Mhm.
I just want to start by saying, I was there on Monday, got there at around 6 o'clock.
PM?
PM.
Okay.
And, just trying to find parking, by the house. And, I looked and looked and looked, and I had to park way up the street. And probably had to walk 200 to 300 feet to get to my house. That's without this building being there.
Mhm.
I think that this new proposal is an improvement,
Mhm.
but it's not enough. I think this proposal, if it had enough parking, is a good idea. But it doesn't have enough parking. This new proposal, I believe they said it includes 17 units. Some of the units are quite large. As some commission members stated, it's conceivable that, there are 4 people with 4 cars living in there. And, if they only have 2 parking spots, they're gonna be parking on the street, those 2 other cars. It's not fair for the residents living there. To maybe have to, if I have to walk 300 feet now, if this goes up, are they gonna have to walk 600 feet, 800 feet? What about the businesses on Center Street? They use that parking? It's pretty simple. We're just asking for enough parking.
Mhm.
If they come back with enough parking, I'll most likely come back and be supportive. But now I can't be supportive, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And I just want to address one more topic. Whatever this final proposal is, I think the city needs to look at, I don't know if it's within your jurisdiction. I don't believe it is. But I just want to say it. Needs to look at permanent parking on the street.
Permit?
Permitted parking,
Okay.
with stickers.
Okay. Unfortunately, John, you are more than welcome to submit anything like that in writing, but the public portion has to
Be relative to
Just
the
a
application.
little-
application. Okay, and we understand their needs about that, but I would encourage you to put something in writing. So, and I can,
send it to the Board of Aldermen.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
that's probably the better way to do it. Yeah, but,
Okay, I understand.
okay,
But yeah, my only concern really is the parking situation.
okay,
Thank you.
good,
Thank you.
thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the commission on this application? Come on up and sign in. Oh, there's that. Thank you very much. Okay, so, Anna, and help me with your last name, Sidorova? Okay.
76 High Street, Shelton.
Mhm.
I realized that the building got shorter, but it's still, everybody referring to it as a 3-story high. It's actually 4, if you're counting the garage.
Mhm.
And it's overwhelming, it's too big for the area if you compare it to existing houses. All the existing houses compared to that new building will look with diminished value. That's number one. And I have a question for an applicant about landscaping. If application is approved,
Mhm.
what do they planning to do for landscape on the whole lot?
Mhm.
Do they plan to remove the trees? Do they plan to replace some of the trees? Because High Street is facing Long Hill Avenue. High Street is a one-way street, so all of our houses are facing Long Hill. With trees removed, we will be facing roofs of the buildings.
Mhm.
So obviously, we put in a little bit of disadvantage. It may be small for you, the argument of removing trees and losing the view. But some say views cost $1 million.
Mhm.
So if this application is approved, we would like to see some kind of greenery that at least partially blocking the backside of the new building. And third point is where all the deliveries will be happening. If Amazon trucks or water trucks, will they be happening on a Long Hill for the new building? Or is there a delivery spot where that private van can pull in and service the apartment?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else in the audience? Okay, and Ms. Castro, anyone participating remotely? If you'd like to address the commission, please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9. Is there anyone?
No.
No, okay. Okay, uh,
Can I say something?
come on up, sir. Sign in.
Okay, my name is Victor Avina and
Okay, Victor,
you.
just for our stenographer and our secretary, spell your last name.
ABIN,
Okay, and your address?
41 North Hill Avenue.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Okay, just I want to say some words. It's already screwed in the street by a lot of cars. And now when they put that thing, we have less parking and I think it, my son just where's to put in car. And many days in the morning, I see the 18-wheel truck and sent it in Long Hill. They're supposed to not be there.
There's a
For-
18-wheeler
Uh-huh,
truck parked on Long Hill Avenue.
Yeah, to deliver,
Okay.
and then my son need to walk to pick it up. Yeah, it's for that.
Truck delivery.
And my son need to walk over there. It's residential, the street, it's not commercial street. And it's bad, they plan to put the units over there.
Mhm.
That's only the worst that one is.
That's it?
That's-
Okay, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Come on up, John. Just identify yourself again.
John, you saw I live at 17 Audubon Lane.
Mhm.
I own 19 Long Hill Ave across the street.
How many families are in that?
3.
Three.
And there is no driveway.
6 cars?
You know, there's no driveway, so,
So
but
six-
it's, no,
like
I,
cars.
I believe it's 3 cars.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're pretty small apartments. Maybe 4. But I just want to add on to a point someone else made.
Mhm.
I believe it was Angel. He mentioned, when it snows, it becomes much more difficult to park,
Mhm.
especially on a garbage day. When everybody brings their trash cans out,
Mhm.
the amount of parking space diminishes by a lot. I don't know the exact amount, but, it becomes really difficult for the residents that live on that street. People just do not, they shouldn't have to walk really far, like maybe 800 feet.
City life.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's
right?
city life. That's how downtown districts are. You gotta walk.
I know, but with
Did you ever go
proper,
to New Haven or
with proper planning, we can make it better.
Well.
It's been like it is for a long
proper
time.
planning should
Well, we're
be
talking
from the
about a
beginning.
new project
Right,
that would,
exactly. Get your
you
point.
know,
I get your point,
Yeah.
but we are in a downtown district, so it's.
right, but once we put this, building in place, there's no reversing. So right now, we have the opportunity to make sure that everything is as good as it could be.
Mhm.
So that's what we're talking about. I understand that city life. I don't disagree with that point. But we have an opportunity to make it as good as it could be.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to, relay information to you
Sure.
that I've seen. And hopefully you guys could use that information to, make, the city life better.
Mhm.
And it's just parking. That's the issue here. And, there currently is not enough parking, and, I think it's gonna get worse. So I hope, there'll be an updated proposal with more parking.
Mhm.
Otherwise, if that happens, I'll be here to support it.
Okay,
But until then,
very good. All right, Jen, thank you. You have a question for the applicant? Let me just ask, Mr. Rose, is there anything that you want to respond at this time to the comments made by the public?
Just Pat Rose, Rose Diesel Company, just a couple of items, we will come back with a planting plan for detailed development plans. We're trying to get the initial development plans approved in
Mhm.
some form, before we do that. Also deliveries along Mill Avenue. The truck drivers are gonna do what the truck drivers do, they can pull into the driveway, park there, make their delivery, or they're gonna park out along Mill Avenue. There's nothing we can do to stop them.
I see that on Center Street as
You-
well.
You see it
Yeah.
everywhere.
And on White Street.
It's difficult. But it's a two-way street, you can still get around them, But it's not a one-way street where you can't get around. As far as parking, I believe that we, provided significant amount of increase in parking by reducing the number of units. And believe that it is adequate for the number of units and one-bedroom nature of those units. But I leave that to you to decide.
Mhm.
Just one question.
Yeah.
Mr. Rose. Talking about, you'll have a dumpster on site
Yeah,
for
there's,
trash and,
yes.
and there'll be no cans out in front. or
No,
anything.
there's a dumpster that's actually in the driveways. You come directly in, it's right there.
Okay, thank you.
How does the garbage truck come in to get that? Does it have to pull into the driveway?
Pulls into the driveway,
Okay.
straight ahead is where the dumpster enclosure is, picks up, backs out.
It's one of these.
So-
It's a front.
One of the speakers mentioned landscaping in the back tree line. Is that something you're able to address, or is your property line so close to the cliff side that you would not be able to do any landscaping back there?
No, I believe that we will be providing landscaping on High Street.
Oh, okay.
In order to, because some trees are going to be lost, in construction, we'll have to replace the screen
Mhm.
that exists.
Something like arborvitae or something. or
Yeah,
other.
something that's relatively fast growing.
Mhm.
Provide a screen for them.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the plan if if the tree dies within a year, they have to replace it? Is that?
Yeah, that's usually what you've got written in the contract with the landscape. Provider.
Mhm.
Okay. I think a 2-year period in this point would probably be a better option
Wouldn't
for
hurt.
the residents that live up there.
Okay, very good. All right, well, we've heard from the applicant, we've heard from the public, the applicant gave us more information. Mr. Panico had, mentioned that there was, some, discussion that he had not been able to complete with, Mr.
Oh.
Rossetti. So, is
Yeah, and
there,
I think that really has to do with the size of the development.
Yeah, I
on
do
the
too, the
size of
square footage,
parcels.
yeah,
We
right.
certainly don't want to make a decision
No,
without
without
confirming
knowing
that.
that
yeah,
we're doing the
absolutely.
right thing.
All right, So,
based on that, I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing.
I'll
right.
second it.
so there's a motion to continue from Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Kelly. The motion to close, Commissioner Cristiano, keep the public hearing open. Commissioner Cristiano? That's an aye?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner McGee?
Aye.
Commissioner Motto?
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly?
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0.
And I'd also like to ask that they reconfirm the issue that's going on down there with the landscaping. They should not be parking on city streets for one thing, the
Mhm.
commercial building, commercial vehicles.
Mm.
I can.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we've
so
heard.
something, it's gotta get cleaned up down there, either
Mm.
way, whether this proposal goes through or not, it's gotta
Right.
get cleaned up. And there's a commitment from, or our approval for putting Antonio's where it is, was that gate stays
Mhm.
closed. No
Mhm.
deliveries, it stays closed. So that also needs to be addressed with the owner of Antonio's.
And the landscaping.
Business is the
It's the landscaping.
that's having the issue.
Yeah.
So,
They're-
and Ron
But
has
they're a
reached out, so
tenant
there
of-
is, yeah, there is, correspondence back and forth,
Okay,
and he is, aware
Mhm.
and working on it.
but I believe Antonio owns the property and he's a tenant of that?
No.
Mm-mm, the other way around,
Oh, okay, Antonio's.
the other way,
yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so the continuation of this public hearing will be on the agenda of an upcoming meeting. So we'll move along to our next agenda item, which is old business. Application 2402, PDD number 91, Dominic Thomas for Fountain Square LLC at 745 to 795 Bridgeport Avenue, Assessors Map 28, Lot 18, for a major modification of a PDD, modification of initial development concept plans, amendment to the statement of uses and standards, and final site development plan approval for 170-unit residential use in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes 8-30G, and removal of the proposed hotel, office building, and internal fountain. The continuation of this public hearing was held March 27th. At that meeting, a planner's report was presented, and the public hearing was closed. And I just want to know for the record, at our public hearings for this on February 28th and March 27th, all the commissioners here at the table were present. So tonight we'll discuss how we want to proceed with this application, and I have several points I would like to put on the record. First, the planner's report referred to and quoted from our 2017 updated plan, conservation and development, a document that was last updated 7 years ago. In addition, the 2017 plan of conservation and development clearly states on page 5 that the plan continues to be an advisory document only. Number 3, the planner's report refers to statement number 2 on page 14, a part of section 5 titled Updated POCD Strategies, Guide Appropriate Development, subsection, which reads that an updated strategy is to continue to protect and enhance downtown Shelton, Huntington Street, White Hills, and suburban office/industrial areas. The planner states this project would be a logical enhancement to the existing infrastructure by providing proximate housing opportunities for those working at the existing offices and commercial spaces. I dispute the notion that including a high-density multifamily residential building would enhance the Fountain Square development. Number 4, the planner's report also refers to statement number 6 on page 15 in the same section. Statement 6 says another strategy of the POCD is to continue to improve traffic safety and circulation citywide. The planner's report in this section states, this site in particular provides future residents with 2 transit options, the Valley Transit District Service Area along Route 8 and the Greater Bridgeport Transit Agency, which connects to Metro North and Connecticut Transit train and bus stations. While on the surface, that sounds like a wonderful plan, but that plan does have some drawbacks. For one, Valley Transit District bus service operates Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and rides need to be reserved the day before. It is not an on-demand service. It does not have numerous buses constantly moving around a preset route with predetermined stops. What if the resident at this proposed location has weekend hours? Starting just April 1st, Valley Transit did begin a micro tracking service similar to Uber in Shelton, Derby, and Ansonia, but it only operates Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 11:30 p.m. It appears that the Greater Bridgeport Transit Agency online bus schedule, that there is regular bus service to downtown Shelton, which might work if a resident wanted to patronize any number of the restaurants or hair salons or even the new computer store in downtown Shelton. However, if a resident wanted to travel to Huntington Center to patronize any number of the businesses there, or to go to the community center to use the pool, or attend a church service at one of the 3 churches in the vicinity of the Green, a bus would only get them as far as the Commerce Drive, Huntington Street intersection by the Trap Falls Reservoir. After that, there's a minimum 1.4-mile walk to Huntington Center. Even a tenant who needed to get to his or her job at Sikorsky Aircraft's main plant on Main Street in Stratford could not do so efficiently, as there is no direct route between Fountain Square and Sikorsky Aircraft via the closest connecting road, which is Old Stratford Road that blends into and becomes Warner Hill Road. An employee would have to take 2 buses to get to Sikorsky. The first would be from the Bridgeport area, Parrot Drive intersection, to the downtown Bridgeport Transportation Center. After a 30-minute ride on the second bus, the employee would only be brought to a point a half-mile away from the plant, leaving the employee with at least a 10-minute walk to the entrance of Sikorsky's facility on Main Street. Number 5, if the commission felt high-density multifamily residential was appropriate for this area in October 2021, it would have approved the proposal for 206 apartments at 1 Parrot Drive, less than 0.2 of a mile away from the rear entrance to Fountain Square. If the commission felt high-density multifamily residential was appropriate for this area in July 2020, it would have approved the proposal for 272 one-bedroom apartments about a half a mile away at 710 Bridgeport Avenue. Number 6, high-density multifamily residential use was never sought as a permitted use in the original PDD, nor in subsequent modifications until August 2023, when a major modification and modification of initial concept development plans were filed, eliminating the proposed hotel, office building, and fountain, and substituting 145 residential units with 18% as affordable. While I recognize the applicant's claim regarding the financial viability of the project, I do not agree the only solution can be the proposed high-density multifamily residential use. I strongly feel if the initial PDD application had sought high-density multifamily residential as a permitted use, the original PDD zone change from IA2 would not have been approved. High-density multifamily residential was not the vision the commission had for this project back in the fall of 2017 when this project was proposed. As far as I'm concerned, the major modification and modification of initial concept development plans for this application is not a benefit to our community, and I do not support this application. So other commissioners, you're more than welcome to weigh in on this.
Yeah, Commissioner Kelly. I just want to say that the original project that was approved was a really great project with park-like seating areas, fountains, and a really thought-of project. As time progressed, and yes, the project was sold to another developer, there was a downgrade of this project. We kept hearing that with the recent development that things had changed because of project affordability. We kept accepting modifications of this initial PDD. And with the initial PDD changes, that the building, the proposed office building and micro hotel which was originally proposed, was substituted by 145 apartments. That we said no to this change. So coming back to 100, they came back with 170 apartments and turned it into an 830G. I feel the approval of this project, we are not, if I feel that if we approve this project, we are not doing what we have been elected to do by the residents of Shelton. So I am not supportive of this project.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Kelly. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Motto?
Well, I originally thought way back that, if they weren't able to get a hotel, they weren't able to get a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was going to impact the success of the project overall, I was willing to look at their proposal
Mhm.
alternative. But as our consultant pointed out, they came up with a 500-foot long box. And when they were asked to do something to make it less intense and more attractive, they really didn't. It took a little jog out of the roof. That was meaningless in terms of that suggestion. So I don't think I can really comment on the financial viability of any particular proposal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really just seems like there's just no regard to the community and what what was trying to be done there, and losing all the green space and all the attractive elements. It's just really unfortunate. I don't know how strong a leg we have to stand on in terms of the 830G. I think that's problematic, but it's since we turned down the 145, it looks like they just wanted to make it worse.
Mhm.
So it's
Well,
very,
it's a threat, right?
yeah.
Well,
It's a
the
tool
the
that
really
the
thing
attorney-
that got me is that if we turned down the 145, there was a print or a plan already for the
Yeah, there
170.
was no secret.
Well, there was a threat. There was a
Yeah.
threat made.
Right.
I mean, it was a clear outright threat.
Mhm.
We'll file an 830G if you don't approve this. So we knew that was coming.
Mhm.
So I wasn't on the board when this was originally approved, because I always thought it was way too dense to begin with, even without the apartments, with just the hotel. And I would think when these folks took over or purchased this property, they should have understood the financial viability. So they shouldn't
Due
have come.
diligence on
Yeah,
their
it shouldn't
part.
have come as a surprise to them that a hotel, a boutique hotel would love to come in here. They would, especially with, the office buildings, some offices are moving out, but others are moving in. So,
Mhm.
I just
We
thought
have
that
another
the-
hotel proposal. So that I do
Sort of.
think
right, that
Sort
they
of.
can't attract it. It's just,
Oh,
Not official.
no,
they're just looking to make as much money as they possibly can at the expense of our community.
Correct.
Hmm.
Agreed.
agreed. Don't know, don't know. if we
And
have-
again, the PDD was granted from an IA2 zone, which I believe is one of the zones that they could not request affordable housing.
Mhm.
Really, is it?
Industrial,
Yeah.
affordable housing not
Or-
allowed in
or like
industrial
industrial,
zones.
Oh,
How can municipalities defend an appeal brought under the procedure? One is the development is receiving no government funds, and B is located in an industrial zone that does not permit residential uses.
Hmm.
Interesting. So had we not granted the PDD, they couldn't be putting it
Putting
there.
that there, yeah.
But we granted the PDD based on what they told us they were going to do.
Mhm.
Well,
So I'm opposed to it as well.
Okay, Commissioners, McGee and Cristiano, while you were present at those two meetings, you were not seated. And I just have to, get your acknowledgement on the record that you were sufficiently, familiar with this project to present any comments.
Yes,
Okay.
Commissioner Cristiano, I spent a lot of time reviewing the material and I'm not in favor of the project as mentioned. We'll have to see what the 830G proposed, but I appreciate Commissioner Harger, your historical information you presented on the project
Mhm.
and the other related projects that came before the commission over the course of time.
Mm.
It takes this project into perspective in the area and how it will affect the city of Shelton moving forward on this, so I'm not in favor.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I concur with a lot of what's been said. I am disappointed that there's not a, like, so this proposal is a work, live, play, right? That's the buzzword that they've used, and it's like work, live, there's not a lot of play, there's not a lot of green space, you know, like they got that one little area in the back and that's it. And then also, like, I don't think the original proposal with the stores was well thought out for residential development in the back, just considering there doesn't seem to be a lot of pedestrian infrastructure in that first initial phase. I'm concerned about the traffic, most especially what this would generate being 170 units. I have a question. I'm wondering if we could maybe explore a peer review of their traffic study, or are we too late in that?
I think we had.
I don't think it matters because
Yeah.
we're not in favor of the project, so.
Right.
Why would we
I
prolong it?
I personally dispute some of, and I think we all personally dispute some of the things their traffic
Mhm.
study said. That's why I asked.
Well, it was less. There's,
Yeah, I actually think it's gonna be a detriment to that.
well, there's one thing is that there's no separate in and out.
Bottlenecks.
It's all through the
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna
complex.
be cars speeding to get home.
Oh, absolutely.
Flying through a shopping center where there's people.
And a daycare
And a daycare.
without a school
It's just gonna be a
ridiculous.
mess.
is
It's
under
gonna be a
construction. No, I think I pretty much felt from the get-go, this was an inappropriate proposal in an inappropriate location. And there was
There's a huge difference between a hotel being sited there
Mm-hmm,
and the 170
Business use.
part.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
folks check in, they check out the
The
next day.
occupancy
They're
rate
not
is
always-
that's a lot
It's usually
different.
not
Oh,
100%
yeah.
occupancy.
Absolutely. Whole
So
different animal.
here we are.
So everybody's had their chance to have their say. No other comments? So, well, as it appears, the consensus of the commission is to deny this zone change. Staff is directed to prepare an unfavorable resolution for action at an upcoming meeting.
Is it a zone change that? No,
How
No,
did I read it?
no, it's a
the
modification.
modification for the PGZ.
Modification. All right.
Can't correct it.
We need to give any
Modification.
more reasons or we
Yep.
pretty well.
On horizon.
Nope,
No.
that's absolutely correct. So, yes, as it was modification of initial development concept plans, amendment to the statement of uses and standards, and final site development plan. So, but be that as it may,
Um,
change the outcome. And Mr. Panico, you wanted to make a
I
comment?
just wanted to make a couple of minor comments. First of all, I did look through and read through the planner's testimony report. And I think you picked up on most of the issues in there that we're in disagreement with. And the one thing that was not mentioned was their calculation of potential school age children. It doesn't seem to fit what I would apply using their standards to the real division between 2 bedrooms and 1 bedrooms. And the number comes out significantly higher. They introduced a report or a letter, I guess it was, from somebody with fire protection background. And I don't know that we got anything from the local fire marshal. And I'm not sure that I agree with that letter because we had some issues before, and I don't know to what degree they've been addressed on this site plan about vehicle circulation for fire trucks around the building, the ability to get up there, circulate the building and get back out again. They made a very general statement that everything was in order. Getting back to the planner's report, I think staff should get some information input also from Board of Education if possible, but since the hearing's been closed, that may not be possible. However, I would conclude, based on our experiences elsewhere, that school buses will not go on that property. And that being the case, children, whatever children there were, if there was only 6 or 8 kids out of there walking down 1,000 feet to get to Bridgeport Avenue and then having to deal with the issues on Bridgeport Avenue, traffic wise, et cetera. The impact of traffic on Bridgeport Avenue as a result of school buses stopping and starting right in front of that property. Those were not addressed in his concerns at all. So I just thought I would mention those as well.
Those are safety issues that were not addressed by the applicant.
Right.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, that's a very well
Yeah,
stated.
Right.
so include in our resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely, for sure.
Those are significant. Again, I'm doing commission, I'm
Mhm.
aware of school bus issues. That's significant,
It is.
especially for, I would think,
To have to
kids
walk.
up until the intermediate school
Oh, yeah.
age.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
the elementary
I
school.
mean, that's pretty far coming all the way down that hill, then down the driveway. That's a pretty long driveway to get down to Bridgeport Ave.
A busy driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you're in
morning,
the shopping
those are-
center.
Those are busy driveways there.
No, even the pickup in the rear
I don't know what
Exit.
the-
Pier Drive.
trying to picture what the end of that intersection, that main intersection, as far as some sort of bus stop, what it would even look like.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That whole area
a
is.
significant safety issue that I didn't even think
Yep.
about. Thank you, Mr. Banner.
For sure. Okay, well, as I said, the staff is directed to prepare an unfavorable resolution for action in upcoming meeting. And seeing that there is no other item on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned as of 7:34 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
It's a half meeting.
Ah.
Meeting, yeah. Well, I didn't eat dinner yet.
Yes.
It's like there's a cavern.